comma, gotta get it, get it.
Welcome to the Condors Esports live stream. Tonight we have some MLB The Show for you. My name is Jake. Some people know me as Herd.
My name's Andrew, also known as Wing.
And thank you all for joining us tonight. As I said, we have MLB The Show tonight. Our boy Zazzi is going to be in a best-of-5 grand final for the ECAC league that he's playing in, and they're playing against Post University tonight. And he assures me it's going to be an entertaining night tonight. So we hope you have your snacks, have your drinks, and are buckled in for a good show. While we have a chance, let's get a chance to know Zazzi a little more as well. So that was a quick little sports intro for our EAFC team and as well as our MLB The Show. So that was Josh you saw first there, and our boy Zach as well, Zazzi, who's our MLB The Show aficionado, very well accomplished in the game. He, at this point, has never dropped, he's dropped one game, never dropped a series so far in the ECAC gameplay for MLB The Show. And when you know a little bit more about Josh.
Well, with Josh, last term he was the fall 2024 EAFC champion. Going back again this term for that again. If I'm correct, he's going into quarterfinals this coming week. It's going to be a good game for Josh and good rest of the season. But tonight, Zazzi is the big focus of tonight.
Absolutely. Zazzi's been putting in a lot of work so far in a dominating fashion. As I said, only dropped a single game, never dropped a series. And he told me, too, that the game was making some of those decisions for him. It was a 10-9 game loss for him. But he said there was a lot of lineouts and on some good hits that he had. And really just the game wasn't doing him any favors there, unfortunately. But tonight, he's got a good lineup going for him tonight. He said he's going to be playing with some teams he's very comfortable and familiar with, Phillies and Padres. But because it's a best-of-5, they have to have a third team in the mix as well, guaranteed to use. So he'll be playing with the Mets as well. Somebody he's not the most comfortable with, but he did mention that he won't be playing with the Braves anymore. The last time I was here casting, he decided to use the Atlanta Braves, and it was a dicey run for him. It really didn't go all that well for him, so he said no more of that, not rolling the dice on the Braves anymore, staying with what I'm comfortable with. So hopefully we'll see that tonight. He was also mentioning that the player from Post University is one of the better players that he has gone up against. So he said don't expect any mercy rules tonight. Don't expect any easy walk-offs because it's going to be a battle through and through all the way. So looking forward to some good gameplay.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And his opponent tonight from Post University, this guy was the runner-up from the fall term. So with this term, he was expected as the first seed to win. But we have some good games, and now we're starting off with the first game. Starting off with Zazzi having the Padres out and his opponent having the Phillies.
Yep. And we have Zazzi on the mound starting with pitching tonight. You can see from the pitching UI, easy ground out for the first one. Off to a good start. We like that. And for those of you who may not be familiar with MLB The Show, just so you are aware, I told Andrew when we were getting warmed up here that it's a competitive home run derby. So you can see here everybody's swinging for the fences, trying to get home runs. Runners on base is not a common occurrence, truthfully. It's a lot of smacking stuff out of the park. So to get those early ground outs is really nice, honestly. Oh, we like that. Zazzi looking to make him swing. And he is biting. Something a little high outside. It should be a nice pop out. He's gonna get a tag up run though. Should be one in for sure, unless he makes the throw home on a good relay here. No, clean in from third. That's a nice little setup play from the post university opponent here. But hopefully not something we see too much of tonight until Zazzi gets to the plate.
Inside.
Good patience from Post University here. Not swinging too early on these pitches that are outside the frame.
Outside.
Really making Zazzi pitch to him. He's got a hitter's count here, waiting to get the freebie here. And that'll be out of the park.
So far, first inning, Post University having it going up 2-0, but they are at 2 outs, so we'll see what happens for the rest of the first inning.
Mm-hmm. And this will be the third out coming in. Routine fly ball to Tatis Jr. And I would like to think that Zazzi's not too put off by that. He was telling me that he was expecting this to be the better player that he's seen so far this season, so I don't imagine going down 2 runs is going to shake him up too much. And he did mention as well to us that he usually takes about a game to warm up anyway. So the first one, got to shake off the nerves, got to get a little bit warm, and see how things progress slowly through what's potentially 9 innings. As long as, like he said, there's going to be no mercies.
Yeah, and with this game and with the rules for ECAC, they are playing at a slower speed for the pitching than Zazzi is used to. They're playing at All-Star. I forget what I'm pretty sure it's Legends.
I believe it is Legend, yeah, for the highest difficulty.
So this is slowing it down a little bit. So it's going to take about a game, maybe half a game for him to be able to know exactly where he's feeling. But as we just saw, he did just hit what was it? Out of bound. I'm a little shaky.
Foul ball.
Foul ball.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit shaky with baseball, so.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions you might have along the way, don't be afraid to ask. Ooh, that should be a home run ball here. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's one for Zaz. We like to see that. None out. That's a comfortable position to be in because the second run that Post University took was on, as you mentioned, on 2 outs, right? So there's lots of wiggle room here. Oh, goodness. Is that 2 back-to-back?
Might be just short.
Just short at the warning track. So one thing that always kind of gets me about this, especially when I casted the last one, there's no field indicator when we're watching Zazzi's POV from batting. So I always have to make like educated guesses based on how the fielders are moving, and I got duped a lot of times. The last time I casted this game, I was like, surely that's another one out, but only to be robbed. But from my point of view anyway, that it was just a routine fly ball. We couldn't see the on-field indicator here. Oh, this
that one was a nice hit from Zazzi. Gonna get him just holding at first base. Oh, no, second base.
Yeah. Like a nice clean double. So kind of no matter what happens here, he's going to advance a runner even if he does take an out, which it looks like he's going to.
Oh.
So as long as he gets a ball in play, whether it's over the fence or it touches grass, as long as that runner can get to first, that's pretty much guaranteed to be another run for him here to tie things up at 2. But I don't want to cast or curse him. Ooh, took a quick ball inside. Yeah.
Pop the ball up there. It's all good. He's only down 1 in the first inning. Going into the second one, I think he could tell that he's starting to feel himself a little bit, but he is starting off with a team that he's more in the middle with compared to his other 2 teams. Phillies is usually the team that all competitors are going to pick when it comes in to it, as they do have to ban a team, and everyone always bans the Dodgers as they are the best team to pick.
Yep.
And then it goes into Phillies as that second best team.
Yep. It's kind of an interesting structure that the opponents get to ban a team for you, and then there's a lot of repeat choices. So Post University playing with Phillies first, and Phillies is Zazzi's most comfortable team, but he said he's played the most game with the Padres because of the fact that, like I mentioned earlier, he's never dropped a game really except that one, so he's always been playing in mercy rules. He's never had to use his third team, essentially, because once you win with a team in MLB The Show competitive here for league play, you can't use them again. So he's never actually gotten to the third team because all of the ECAC games are best of 3 in the regular season. So having never really dropped anything, he only ever uses his 2 primary teams, and that's it. And if you lose, you can, like, if Post University, in theory, if they never win a game here, they can use Phillies all the way through if they really want to.
We did just see that Post was able to get a ball down, making their runner to the second base. It's all good. Right here, do we have another out? We do.
Sitting at 2 out, another quick inning here. No runs scored either, which is nice. Ooh, that'll be a runner to third. Does he turn it for home? He does. He's trying. Well, that's another RBI. I am a little surprised. A little more small ball than I would have expected for a grand finals game, but generally speaking, you'll take what you can get here. Like, it's every run counts, right? It's crazy that he's stealing.
No, he's in there, safe.
But it is a smart move, ultimately, because if he stays at first, that gives Zazzi the option to throw to first or second for the out. But stealing to second forces him to play the ball to first base only. And now he sends a 2-run shot out, increasing that lead to 5-1.
It's a scary lead for the start, but as we have mentioned, it's just still warming up a little bit. The longer the game goes, as long as there's no mercy rule, then I think we could see a really good game in the first game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, as I mentioned, this is a competitive home run derby, so a game can turn very quickly once you get up to bat. So I have no doubt Zazzi's looking forward to his chance to get up to bat and put some runs on the board himself.
As much as I watch Zazzi play this game, when he's streaming it himself, he can be really good at comebacks. So it's still early on. We'll have to see what's going to happen.
And a long series too, right? Best of 5. Don't see many of these till playoffs, so he'll always have his chance at a comeback. And that is something I noticed from when I casted this before. It's a very streaky game, right? Like you'll get on a run of hits, you'll feel warm, and then all of a sudden there's a bit of a counter. Your opponent figures you out a little bit and finds a way to slow that down. I'm sure that's not necessarily the case for Zaz. Like I said, having only dropped 1 game and never a series definitely instills a deep confidence in you. So I wonder how that will be affected, having an opponent come out so hot against him right away.
Even if if his opponent does take the first game, that means this is the only time that his opponents are able to use the Phillies. So even if he goes down 1 in the series at the start, he does have the chance to come back with his opponent only being able to use the other 2 teams that he has selected for tonight.
It's a very good point, actually. It almost might work out in his favor if that's the case. One could even say it's a bit of a strategy move, that if he's not feeling like he's playing well, to just sort of take the L and remove Phillies from the board for him so that he doesn't have to face them again in the upcoming games.
Exactly.
Yeah, smart. At least it's not a double play ball.
Got him.
A little low on that hit, but still has 1 more before the 3rd out.
Ball, that's out. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like he wanted that one. Obviously, I can't see Zazzi's hesitation, but I feel like that one was tempting. These inside pitches are really getting him. I'm not going to lie.
Oh.
That's how he got out in the first inning as well for his 3rd out. Those inside little bloopers not giving him what he wants. So But he did mention takes him a little bit to get warmed up, so we can't be too critical here. I'm sure he'll get into his groove by the 5th.
Ball. Counts 1-0.
This guy from Post University has put up a good starting challenge for Zazzi. This is the biggest gap I think I've seen for him in ECAC so far.
That's ball 2.
I imagine this level of competition is something he's used to when playing competitive, and like, because he's what I believe number 5 in Canada or number 5 in North America, we'll say. Don't quote me on that exactly. I know that it is up there, but Zazzi is ranked to be one of the best players at this game. So I imagine this reminds him more of playing his upper level competitive games, despite the fact that we're not at the legendary difficulty. So the pressure probably, in a way, feels familiar and almost good. It's not going to be a walk in the park for him. He's going to have to do the gamer lean, and get in close and focus up a little bit. But I have no doubt that he'll continue to put on a good show, despite having a bit of a deficit to work from here.
He's really going to have to pay attention to the way that Jake from Post University is pitching tonight, as a lot of people, when they pitch, they usually use the same type of pattern for pitching. So he'll have to really learn the way that he's pitching, but if he does switch pitchers, it could switch that up a bit.
Because as soon as you switch pitchers, you've got a different pitch mix from that pitcher to utilize, right? Some people have up to 6 pitches. Some only have 3, depending on their position. Oh, that was very close.
2 balls, 1 strike.
That was a great leave, honestly. Oh, finds a hole. That'll be a single.
Nope. Ball 1, no strikes. Nope, inside, ball 2.
That was a nice little out there. Now going in. Hopefully Zazzi can hold him off a little bit for the rest of this inning, hoping that he can catch up in the second half of the 3rd inning.
Absolutely. He's got 2 options here for outs. I'm wondering if Jake from Post University here forces the steal again on 2 outs like he did the previous inning.
That's ball 2.
But if I saw correctly, yeah, the runner on first only has 43 speed, so he's likely not going to push that. So that gives Zazzi 2 options, second and first, to get that last out. So if he gets a ball on the ground here, it should be fairly routine. This one might be a little tougher. Yeah, it doesn't quite get it. Just outside of the reach of Tatis Jr. Oh, boy. That's going to be an RBI triple. 7-1 the lead. Interesting. And for those at home who maybe haven't watched too much of this or played too much of this, ECAC rulings is a 10-run lead, I believe, I want to say after 4 innings, or it might just be a 10-run lead at any point. That's the mercy rule. So I don't think Zazzi's truly in danger of it at this point, although I say that, and he's 8-1 right now. But I have no doubt that once he gets out of this half, that he'll put some runs up on the board next inning as well. Get another pitcher warmed up, because obviously this one is being taken to school a little bit here. Well, that's another gap shot. There we go. Tatis bringing it in. We're out of this half of the inning. Heading to the bottom. Let's see what Zazzi can do on the bats here. That'll be a fly out. After 7. Okay. Production has let me know it's 10 runs after 7 innings. I'm hoping production can fill me in too. Is that a postseason rule, or is that the rule all the way through? Because I am curious to know. Okay. That is the rule all through the season. 10 after 7. Gotcha.
1 ball, 1 strike.
There's a good shot to the gap. That should be a single. Oh, what a catch. Oh, man.
Nope,
I'm willing to
outside.
bet that that catch like that was kind of what Zaz was referencing in his one game loss previously in the 10-9
Roll
loss,
left in.
where he said the game was kind of doing him no favors. Like, that looked like it should have hit a gap, but that was a great diving catch from the fielder. That's a foul ball. He's getting the connections he wants, just not quite the placement.
He just needs one good hit, and it'll bring his confidence right up there.
Yeah. He's looking a little, like just a slight bit late. Well, I guess it does say that bottom left, yeah. Because he's pushing everything to the outside, getting foul balls. If he gets that timing right, that's gone. Oh, staying alive.
This is really where it shows that speed of the pitching really does affect it.
Mm-hmm.
Count full.
That's a good leave. Good leave. It's tough to do when you're spending so long fighting for life in there. Oh, does it get through? We like that. All right. Runner on first with 87 speed. I wonder if he does the same thing that Jake does from a couple innings ago, if he's going to set the steal,
Aye. 0-1
just so he
count.
doesn't have a force out option at second.
Nope, that's a ball.
Wonder if it even matters to him, truthfully.
Nope, that's off the plate. Ball 2. Count is 3-2.
I think that's an out, yeah. Damn.
Going into the fourth inning now with an 8-1 score, with the Phillies up by 7 right now. Post University does have a good lead, but there's still more. There's still more to go.
Lots of game. And thank you to production again for filling me in. He has until the 7th to close out the Mercier gap, so not even worried. Top of 4, just had a pitching change.
Aye.
Lefty in here, and he's got I believe that was a 5-pitch set.
Ball.
And I know Zazzy
1-1.
really likes the sliders and the sinkers too, so that'll be,
Aye. 2.
yeah, that'll be something he's going to work with, be happy to work with a lot. There's a lot of motion from Rehan here. That's a good gap, though. That should be a double at the very least. Stand-up double. Jake from Post has got to be feeling real confident right now. Oh, another gap shot. That's going to be a run scored. He's got a splitter, a slurve, a sink, and a slider. A little forcing speed off the outside.
That's outside.
Oh, but he doesn't get it. That's so unfortunate. Get that. Get that home. Oh, it's a relay?
No,
Because he kept it.
yay.
Good heads up, honestly.
Quick reaction there
Yeah.
from Post University.
Aye.
Oh, geez. That might be no, the guy has 59 speed. That's not going to be 2 in, is it? No, held him at third. Okay. With none out, too. This is not looking so great. Warming up another pitcher. Swapping already. Interesting.
Trying out the different pitchers to see what he feels best with.
I have never seen Zazzy look so far behind. This is actually a wild experience for me. That's gone.
That's going to give...
That's another 3-run shot.
That's going to give the Phillies and Post University a 13-run lead right now.
Whew, it does not feel good. You know what? All things considered, I'm excited to see how Zazzi deals with the pressure.
With what I know from him, he will keep a very calm head, but I have never seen it this big of a difference, so it will be interesting to see.
To be down in mercy range at the 4th is only something I've seen him do to other people. So to be in that hot seat himself, we will definitely see here. There's a fly out for you. Nice routine ball. Get that second out. Got him with the circle change. Forced to pop up. That's nice. I didn't see the selection here. Oh, the gaps. The gaps everywhere. Now runner on first with 99 speed. Again, I wonder if he forces the steal just to take away the force play.
Nope, that's inside. That's a ball.
It's a good sinker. They're all so close, but these guys are very good at reading the zone because it has to be. The one thing that's kind of unfortunate, I guess, or fortunate depending on how you look at it, but baseball in real life, it's up to...
We got full count.
Oh, he dropped the ball. So unfortunate. It's up to an umpire to make those calls, right? So anything that's kind of painting the line in this game that gives them a ball, if it's not 50% or more in the actual zone, it's not going to call a strike. Whereas in real life, an umpire would likely call that. He would likely give that to you. But I mean, these guys are in the grand finals for a reason, right? They're good at interpreting this, seeing the ball in, and kind of just playing those mind games with their opponent.
Yeah, the 2 top players in the league this season.
Catcher at the wall. No. Is he going to send him? He's not. 18 speed. No way, right?
Now pitching for the Padres, number 58,
Oh, no, that's gone.
And that is going to put it to...
That's another 3-run shot.
That's going to put it to 18-1. You can see that Zazzi is starting to get a little bit frustrated.
A little bit. He's got the lean in for sure. He's focused. There's no doubt about that. But it would be nice if the game would give him a break a little bit. Because this Jake guy from post is finding every gap by some of the narrowest margins. Meanwhile, Zazzi hits one to the gap outfield and gets it taken away with a diving catch. So here's his chance. Bottom 4. A little bit of a breath of fresh air to be at the plate, honestly.
Ball 1.
The one thing I did notice from the last time I casted was Zaz was very eager to swing. And we've seen a little bit of that today, taking those uncomfortable inside pitches for pop-ups. I think he's got to take a bit of a page out of Jake's book from post here, and he's got to make him pitch to him. Can't be giving up anything for free here. And just like that, he hits a no-doubter.
There we go. Another one on the board for Zazzi. But will that be a start for the rest of the game?
I mean, we can only sit on the edge of our seats like we are and watch in anticipation, on bated breath, if you will, because it very well could be. He hits a double perfect, another no-doubter. It's over the wall. That's 2. That could be the snowflake that starts the snowball, right? That starts the avalanche. So
it's something we like to see.
Yep, that ball went out.
And you can see Zaz, too, just a little bit more relaxed. Maybe not as tense in his chair there because he's got a good read on that. Starting to feel a little bit better. Check swing didn't pay off. It was in the zone anyway. Well, that's all right. It happens. Gonna take that first one. Still got 2 outs to go. That's a good gap shot.
That'll get him to the first base.
There we go. That's the gaps we like to see.
Hopefully tonight we will get a chance to see a grand slam from one of the players. That would be a great thing to see in the finals.
It would be very entertaining to see, absolutely. I believe Jake's going to go in and start warming up some pitchers now that Zazzy's getting on a bit of a roll.
All 1.
That's a good leave. Very good leave.
Ball 2.
Another one. This is the kind of stuff I mean. Zazzy's making him pitch to him, and he gets the double perfect for a no-doubt 3-run shot, immediately closing the gap.
Going up to 6 now. Like I said, it was going to take about half a game.
I bet he's starting to feel good right now. Sitting back in his chair a little more. Probably having that, all right, let's go mentality. We got this. Seeing what he likes, sending it foul, that's all right. It was in the zone anyway, so it's going to be a strike. It might as well come off your bat.
Ball 1.
That's a good leave.
1-0.
Oh,
Out.
little bounce dribbler there.
Puts him to 2 outs, but he still has a chance to put a few more points on the board.
Mm-hmm. There is a saying in baseball that everything starts at 2. And I mean, realistically, too, he's already got 5 runs worth of momentum. So
Ball.
I would say, regardless of what happens
Yeah,
for
2
this
balls, 1 strike.
this next at bat, it's still been a good showing in the bottom 4th here.
Ball 3. Nope. That's ball 4.
All right, good leave. We don't see too many of those. Ooh, that'll be a fly out.
And that will put the first game as a win to Post University. So the mercy rule does go in effect after the 4th inning.
It was after 4. Okay.
Yeah. So it's that 10 or more lead.
Production gave us a my bad. Nice to know that the caster knows what he's talking about, eh? I'm paying attention out there. For all the viewers out there, I'm learning some stuff, you know?
I thought you were right on that, but
you know what? Like we had mentioned before, this could work in our favor, right? You can see Zazzy having some thoughts here, contemplating his next move. But ultimately, it takes the strongest team from the opponent's arsenal off the table now. So that means Zazzy gets to keep moving forward with where he's at, and the other guys are going to have to work harder, work that much harder. They're going to have a more difficult time playing with a team who doesn't have the statistic advantage that some of the teams will. So I know that I believe I have it written down. I believe he chose the Mets and the Yankees for his other teams. Bear with me one moment here.
if I'm correct, Post picked the Braves and the Yankees.
You are exactly right. It is the Braves and the Yankees. That's right.
Yeah, and then Zazzy still has all 3 of his teams, which again are the Phillies, the Padres, and the Mets.
Mm-hmm. Now, the one thing I'm not sure of is if he has to switch between games regardless and just keeps Padres in the rotation, or if he's able to just stay with the Padres and continue as is. I would think, if he has the option, that it would be best to continue where he left off with the same player roster that he's been working with and started mounting a bit of a comeback with. Unfortunately, the 5 runs just wasn't quite enough to close that massive gap that was put up by Post University. So we're hoping to see a bit better of a start, maybe just a less hot start from Post University, and allowing Zazzi to set the tone and really, let him know that he's not going to take that lion down. He's got to have an answer for himself and really come back strong.
What?
And while we're setting up for the next game, we're going to take a quick look at some ads from our sponsors here.
Condors Esports is innovating intercollegiate gaming in Ontario and beyond. We've built a community where you can compete, play, and work in a dynamic program accessible from all campuses.
Condors Esports is more than just gaming. Here, you'll find empowerment and inspiration in state-of-the-art facilities equipped with the latest technologies and unwavering support.
We are varsity athletes, turning victories into championships as high-performing gamers.
We are relentless, constantly pushing our limits and pursuing excellence through every match.
We are Condors. Gaming connects us on campus or online, all through best-in-class equipment.
We're building a foundation of experience, powered by our passion, and developing skills that drive personal and professional success.
We are eager students, transforming our dreams into careers in dynamic and emerging industries.
Condors Esports goes beyond gaming, fostering enduring friendships, unforgettable experiences, and meaningful connections.
This is your chance to transform your passion for video games, esports, and technology into something impactful. Learn how Conestoga is introducing Condors Esports to your campus and connect with fellow Condors striving to soar.
We
are Condors.
Welcome back, everyone. We're just getting into the team selection here as we set up for Game 2. Before the break, it was a bit of a rough one for our boy Zazzi. Took the mercy rule after 4. Post University putting up 18 runs, and Zazzi could only get himself 6. So if you're just joining us now, that's our quick recap from Game 1. But we're heading into Game 2 with a fresh mindset, hopefully. Post University's top choice of the Phillies is now taken off the table because they won a game. So that gives it a bit of a statistical advantage to our boy Zazzi here. So hopefully that's going to work in his favor. And it looks like the Braves are being selected by Post University for Game 2. And it's the New York Mets for Zazzi being selected. So we'll have a Mets-Braves game going here. So the one thing I wasn't clear on, which if we have an answer, I will definitely give it to you. But we didn't know if Zazzi had the option to keep using the Padres if he wanted, or if he wanted to switch, or had to switch things up. I'm assuming because he chose the Mets, that he wasn't able to keep the Padres as per the rules, but the Padres are not removed from his team choice, just perhaps not the team that he can use in this next game here. So if it so happens that he loses again, he'll have the choice between the Padres and the Phillies. But if not, then if he wins this game, Mets are going to be coming off the board for Zazzi, and Atlanta Braves will still be in the running for, I believe it's Jake from Post University.
Let's hope with this game that Zazzi can take a win for a game, put his confidence back up going into Game 3. But as you can see right now, they are just switching up the players, putting them in the order they want, that they both want for hitting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of meticulous choice about this from your own side, and something that Zazzi informed me last time I casted a game for him was that there isn't a lot of sort of reconnaissance and information gathering done on your opponents for the most part. It's usually just go out there, swing the bat, pitch the ball, and that's kind of it. We'll deal with what comes. And I don't know if that's just a Zazzi particular thing because he's so experienced in this game, but he did say that he did his homework for this matchup, and he knew full well that this was going to be his toughest match of the season, as it obviously showed. This is the second game he's ever dropped in ECAC league play. The first game was a 10-9 loss. that he said the game kind of just was working against him, but obviously Jake from Post University was not letting that one be up to the game. He was taking full control of that, putting balls out of the park, and just absolutely running up some score on our boy Zazzi. But we got a fresh one here. Mets against the Braves. We got Francisco Lindor leading off. Spencer Strider starting at the mound. And Zazzi's batting up first. So that's our boy being on the away team today for this game. Which I think at bats, honestly, is where he wants to start. Get a good feel for the swings, because I think that's probably, as he mentioned, it takes a game for him to get warmed up. So I think it's more the bats that takes the getting warmed up, because the ball speed's a little different. So hopefully he did get a little warmed up near the end of the game, because he did put up that 5-run streak. So let's see that continue here.
Ball. 2 balls, 1 strike.
All right. Already got an out, but nice shot to the gap there. Easy single. Just to the fence there, just over. I was worried for a moment. I held my breath a little bit that we were going to see another shot to the gap that was taken away by the game, and like a reaching ball there. But we got some runners on. Zazzi's looking comfortable, looking warm. Ooh, almost a pass ball. Don't see too many of those in the video game world of baseball.
No. That's a ball.
Zazzi doing a great job to make Jake pitch to him here. Foul ball. Still a hitter's count here at 3-1, but a little more freedom for Jake on the mound here. Oh, he did look that one off, but Jake found it. 3-2. Could have left that one probably, but of course you always want to take the opportunity to put one out of the park.
Ball inside. Aye. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A little 1-and-1 mix here. Zazzi hungry for that one, swinging early, looking for strong contact.
Ball, no.
It's usually what I've been seeing tonight from Post University. It's usually that third pitch each time is going to be a pitch that is going to hit inside that box.
RBI single up to the center field gap. Nothing wrong with that. It still runs batted in. I'm sure he's eager to be putting one out of the park and cash in those guys on the bases right now. Well, he hits the gap, but I think it's going to be tracked down. That'll wrap up 3. At least it's 1 on the board. Left a couple stranded, but it's still good momentum to keep going into the second game here. And we'll see how he starts off on the mound. Lots of motion from Sean Manea here in his pitch set, which I think Zazzi really likes, having the options to make pitches look like what they aren't and play with the edges of the strike zone here.
Ball 1. Ball.
Oh, turning a double play here. We like that.
Out.
2 outs on the board. That was that bat from Post University really did shake things up a little bit.
And then just like that, finding the gap up the center of the field as well, putting another one on.
Ball.
The left fielder. Matchday.
Well, moving into a pitcher's count here, 0-2 right away. Zazzy's going to do everything he can here to make Jake from Post University just try to swing at stuff that looks like it's close to the zone. Just like that. The slurve with lots of right to left motion there out of a left-handed pitcher. Just looks so attractive going towards the edge of the zone, and being that that kind of desperate situation of 0-2 there, and none on really, no options for scoring. You look to take what you can get.
No.
So we know that he's human. He bleeds. He's not impervious to the mind games and the pitching strength of our boy Zazzy.
No, too late.
Batting eighth. The right fielder. 15. Tyrone Taylor.
Oh. Line drive picked up by the shortstop. Quickly taking one back after he hit a double to the right gap. Still looking in Zazzy's favor right now, though.
Outside.
Just got to keep that composure. Make Jake pitch to him. Off to a good start. Going 2-0 here. Ideally, he gets 3,
Ball 3.
which he does. Hitters count here, so now Jake has to pitch to him, or he's giving him a walk. He elects to lay off that one. That's kind of a routine thing in baseball. When it gets to a 3-0 count, you're likely going to see a pitch in the zone. But Zazzy was confident. He said, you know what, I'll take it because you're probably going to give me a walk anyway. And here he is with 2 on. Finds a strong shot to the center. I think he wants, ooh, he doesn't send one in. A good choice in the end. Runner on third base only had 39 speed, so he doesn't want to push that and get an early out when he's already got 1. Now that he's got Jesse Winker up to the plate too, there's the grand slam that you were talking about, Wayne. Potential.
It would be great to see going into with this second game a grand slam from Zazzy that
1-2.
will fully rebuild his confidence and will make the rest of this night a very long night for us.
Undoubtedly. Oh, there's no way. It wasn't the hit that he wanted, but it looked like it was going to drop. And that was a shoelace snag from the right fielder.
No, that's a ball.
Zazzy getting a pitch he wanted early on in the count, just swinging really late.
That's a strike.
I think Zazzy knows he has that chance to get the grand slam,
Ball.
and it's making him swing at some stuff right now.
I know I would.
Full count.
Right, everything's there. 3-2 count, so it's ideally in his mind, it's got to come to the zone, right?
Ball 4.
Oh, what patience to walk one in. You know what? This is really smart from Zazzy. I did say that this is kind of a competitive home run derby, but at this point, Zazzy's playing really smart, right? If you're not going to pitch in the zone to him, he's not going to give you those free swings.
Outside.
So at this point, he's letting Jake know early on in this game that it's not going to be like game 1, and he's really going to have to earn his outs this time around.
Exactly. You can tell that he has really bounced back in a good way for this game too, but we still have a long game ahead of us.
We definitely do. I was surprised, honestly, that we even saw a mercy rule in game 1, because as he outright said, expect 45 minutes a game. Like they were likely going to go the distance. But a long night either way, because I know Zazzy's planning on mounting a comeback here. I didn't want to curse him and say that it was going to happen, but in my mind, that is what's happening.
So far, only the second inning, and Zazzy is up 4 right now. This is a great start to the second game.
Unfortunately, getting
Ball 1.
getting that sacrifice run in. So the Grand Slam's off the table, but there's still lots of potential sitting out there on the bases right now. Takes a high outside shot. I don't think that carries over the fence. Oh, but it does. We love to see that. We absolutely love to see that.
Now we see Zazzi up 7-0 in the second inning. This is kind of looking like the exact opposite of what happened in the first game.
Mm-hmm. I very much agree.
Don't want to jinx it, but there could be a potential for a mercy, but on the other side this time. And
I mean, as he slaps another one out of the park here, that's 8 runs, top of 2. This is looking exactly like game 1 from Jake from Post University, just now on the side of the Condors here. And you know, I talked a little bit about how Zazzi was going to respond to the pressure, and we're getting our answer right here.
With Zazzi's history in competitive MLB The Show, he knows how to take that pressure. Being a champion in the Rays Gaming Invitational in 2023, and also the other wins that he's won, I think he knows how to really work with the nerves of being in the grand finals of a tournament.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a quick third out to second base.
That is perfectly fine. It gets us closer to that 4th inning. Hoping for that mercy rule again, but this time for Zazzi.
A high fly ball to the fence. Catchable. Oh, it doesn't quite get there. You know, the gap is a little bit closed again, but this still, if you were here for game 1, you would have seen the exact same thing happening, but the roles reversed. So this can still go either way. And I have to say, Jake from Post University is not looking as comfortable at the plate as he did in game 1.
As you can see after that last pitch, Zazzi was a bit surprised with how that pitch went.
It's one of the most entertaining things, honestly, about MLB. Like, Zazzi loves to react. It's one of my favorite things to see, because if something happens that he's, like you had said, surprised about, or if he's happy about or not happy about, you're going to see a bit of a physical reaction from him.
If you have ever seen his social medias, he has some great reactions to hitting a home run, or when something happens is some of the funniest reactions I have seen for this game.
The last game that I casted for him, he gave a nice salute to a ball as it was on the way out. A no-doubter home run. He just gave her one of those. A little hard salute. See you later, buddy. Nice quick turn here.
And that's the end of the second inning. Only getting 1 run that time from the Braves and Post University. Now going into the 3rd inning with Zazzi batting again. Let's see what's going to happen.
Well, I like the mentality that Zazzi's been bringing. You know, nothing for free. Making Jake from Post here really pitch to him. And it seems like Jake's responding to that. You know, he's not taking that lying down. He's realizing that, okay, he's not going to take any garbage from me. I'm going to have to earn it on the edge of the strike zone here, but this is what this is all about. It's top competition. This is what we're looking for, right? Just 2 greats battling it out. A battle of the minds, too, because this is more mental than anything, I would think, because anybody can hit these buttons and pick spots and learn how to respond with swings. But when Zazzi hits perfect timing on a low inside fastball, you can pretty much guarantee that's gone.
Another one going up for Zazzi on the board. Going back to what you're saying, this is a big mentality type of game. Usually after you see a mercy rule happen on someone, that would really destroy the way they're going into another game. But as you can see, that has not affected Zazzi at all. Now getting another great swing on the board, putting him at the second base.
Absolutely. Found that left center gap right against the wall, bouncing up the warning track too.
No.
A little slightly different position with the PCI. Would have had that out of the park, but we'll take that any day.
No. Inside. Be right. 2-1. He's out. No. 1 ball, no strikes.
Reaching a little bit on the low outside slider. Yeah, that pitch is, he's finding gaps, but I'm starting to think that Jake from Post is starting to see that low outside motion pitch is really starting to work for him. So I'd love to see some more patience, just like that, from Zazzi, to really remind Jake he's got to pitch to him. He's got to earn his strikes. And he is, truthfully. We're playing a little bit of small ball here, and there is nothing wrong with that. Oh, that should be the turn right there.
Got him. That's an out.
That's all right. Zaz hit that 10-run mark as we move into the bottom of the third. If he can hold them, all still well within the realm of possibility for that mercy, but either way, looking very, very comfortable with a 9-run lead. And 1 out, too, right away.
Yeah, that first hit of the second half of the third inning, already an out on the board.
Well, somebody in the stands just died from that. That ball was screaming as it went foul.
Glad I'm not that person in the stands.
That's an out.
You know, I don't know if you've ever watched much actual baseball, but some of the people in the stands get severely injured from the foul balls that get hit out.
That's a foul ball.
Oh, I do dabble in a bit of the funny sports videos, and I have seen some of those of people getting hit with a ball in the stands.
I think that just speaks to the internet culture more than anything, that they're putting that in a funny compilation, right? People getting severely injured.
Just what people enjoy on the internet nowadays.
Yeah. Well, Zazzi did take a quick 2 outs there, but Jake responded in kind with hitting a triple to the right center gap.
You can tell with it that Zazzi is starting to get a little bit on the edge of his chair here.
That's a ball.
Seems like he wants to end this game
1
really
ball,
quick
1 strike.
to go into that next game.
Oh, that's going to be a run batted in for sure. 10-2, turning a stand-up double most likely.
No,
It does slide in there. Had to work for it. There we go.
And now we are going into the 4th inning. Only one point for each side in that 3rd inning.
The defensive game is really stepping up on both sides.
Ball.
There's that low outside off-speed pitch again that Jake is really, really liking here. But Zazzi says, no thank you. I want it in the zone. I want it low inside, and I want to crush it.
It would be great if Zazzi can take a win in this game, taking out only his lowest team that he did pick. And still giving him his 2 better teams, even though Padres in that first game wasn't the greatest for him at the start, but we could tell that he was starting to get a bit of that comeback with them.
Is this we're going to make it out? No, he does catch it. No, I very much agree. If Zazzi takes the win here, regardless of how, whether it's the mercy rule or we have to go all the way to 9, then I fully expect that Zazzi's going to be well set up for the rest of the series with his 2 best teams at his disposal. And Jake's already lost the Phillies, right? That's his best team. That's anyone's best team, really, statistically speaking. So with that taken off the table, it's going to be an uphill battle for him. But on the sac fly, we're moving 1 to 3rd. Still potential for a 2-run shot to get within the mercy rule range here.
Even if he just gets a home run right now, that will put him at that 10. And if he can hold off Post University, he will be able to put that mercy rule into the game.
Jesse Winker at the plate again. It's been a strong candidate for him. He's going 2 for 3 on the day. Oh, he finds a gap. Thank goodness, because that was not the contact that he wanted.
That was a miracle right there. that pitcher did not catch that and throw it right to first.
Yeah, absolutely.
1-0.
Still 2 out. Literally any bag at this point is going to, anything on the infield essentially is going to be an easy out for Jake. But with 2, oh, check that. Please tell me we're good. We love that. Okay. Made me a little nervous, Zazzi.
Ball inside.
Good man. Good man. Making him pitch. 3-1 hitters count. Could still be dangerous if Jake likes to flirt with the outside here. Oh, it couldn't have been more perfect, truthfully. He earned that one. Goes to the same spot. Zazzi knows. Zazzi's looking for it. He's got me leaning forward at this point. Oh, get out. Get out.
Yeah.
No doubter. Get out of here.
There we go. That is going to now put a nice point gap in there, a 14-2 game right now.
Oh, sorry. Did you say 14? Because almost 15. That just curve fell. Oh, geez.
That's going to get another one of the Mets to the second base there.
Easy. Easy stand-up double. So this is what I was talking about. Everything starts at 2, right? Zazzi's had 2 outs for a minute here, but he is not slowing down. The momentum's in his favor. Jake's looking to make pitching changes. There is absolutely no way he can walk out of this not feeling absolutely pressured right now. There it is. Nice, easy routine play to first.
Out.
I think even with the gap right now in the points, we could potentially see that mercy rule in this game.
Yeah, he's got some forgiveness, right? He's got a 2-run buffer to still hit the mercy rule. So as long as Zazzi can stay in control like he has, it looks like we're going to see a nice, easy first out here again. This is how the last inning started for Zazzi, too. We saw first pitch swinging from Jake, and it was a routine fly out. I believe the second one was much the same. And then he chipped away for 1 run, right? So if it's much of a repeat here, then that's
0-1.
I think what we're starting to see from Jake right now is he's just swinging it, which isn't a bad idea, but we can tell that he's starting to get a little bit stressed out.
Yeah.
But that's the same with Zach in that first game. He was starting to get a little bit stressed out with that point gap.
A little bit, yeah. The difference being, from what I'm noticing, Zazzi tried his best to maintain his composure and wasn't swinging it like, I hate to say it, but garbage. Those last 2 swings that you saw from Jake, that led to that last out, they were not good. They were not close. They were not well-timed. They're not good choices. Like, he's swinging at stuff that's down by his ankles right now. I would say the difference here to me is that professional exposure, right? Zazzi's been doing this for a long time and knows how to respond to even to getting mercy. Oh my goodness. He just pickled him. That's wild. That is absolutely wild.
And there we go. Second game going to Zazzi and the Condors. Did not expect to see that that Post University would push that player to the second base.
No, he tried to stretch for more than he should have, and I really think that speaks to what you mentioned, that he's feeling desperate, he's feeling uncomfortable, right? Like, there's no reason he should have done that. He should have taken the runner to first. It would have been a routine play, simple, easy, and free. But then he decided to push for more, and feeling a little desperate, especially on 2 outs. That is not the time to do that. And Zazzi, I can imagine, was more than happy to take advantage of that. And look at him now, just sitting there, all casual as can be, swinging back and forth. He's got to be feeling good after that, because it's the first time he's lost in such a fashion in ECAC. But now to respond in kind and to just feed that right back to him. And again, like we had mentioned, right? Jake doesn't have his Phillies. He's got to move to either the Yankees if he has to switch. Again, I'm not entirely sure. He might just stay with where he's at, or he's got to move to Padres. Like, what are you gonna? What do you have left? You got nothing.
I could expect for the next game that Jake is gonna keep it with the Braves.
You think so?
I think so, as that is his second best team that he did pick for tonight, and Zazzi just picked his 3rd team and won with that, it would be best option for Jake to stick with the Braves and hopefully get up into the series with a 2-1 lead.
Yeah.
But now we got to see who Zazzi will pick.
That's right. And as we get ready for the next game, we're going to throw it to a quick break. So stick around. We'll be back shortly.
Esports is for everybody. That's what makes this so special, where there's not a lot of barrier to entry. It's, do you have a passion for gaming? That's all it really takes. There's so many different things involved in this. It really does take that full team to make a successful event run. And that's what this program does. You got the lighting going on, you got the video capture going on, you got the whole production crew that are packaging this all together, you have the shoutcasting that's happening. We want to be, that pinnacle for esports. We want students to come here, learn from industry best, and launch their careers in esports. You have that new arena that's being built. To have that investment through the college, it proves a lot. We're invested in this. This can lead to something really big and something really neat and something that you're really invested in. It's $1 billion industry, and we really can't wait to see where this goes.
Well, welcome back from our short break there. We're getting ready to head into Game 3. Zazzi looking real comfortable in his chair there after a pretty commanding Mercy win there.
Yeah, that Mercy win was really good for him. It kind of reminds me about the times of him putting a bunch of people in actually the tournaments he has played in a Mercy rule. When he won the Rays Gaming Invitational in 2023, he actually won by putting the person in the grand finals in the Mercy rule.
Dang, okay. Well, we've seen Mercy trades so far, and Zazzi assured me it was going to be a long night, and that there weren't going to be Mercies, but he's been proven wrong and proved me wrong back to back. So I'm wondering if we're going to see more of that. We left the second game there seeing that Jake from Post University was looking a little bit more uncomfortable at the plate than Zazzi did in respect to when they were both down with such a large margin. So I'm wondering if we're going to see that continue into the next game, because as we've talked about before the break, this is a very big mental game, right? How are you going to respond to the pressure? That was what I had said when Zazzi took the first forfeit loss, or the Mercy loss, I should say, and he responded in spades here, fully in kind. Whereas I don't know if that'll be true for Jake from Post, but we'll have to see, right?
Yeah, that mental game is going to be a very big impact for the rest of the games tonight. As we both know, in the esports industry, their mental factors can be a make or break for any game.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter what esport we're talking about. Mental factor is always going to be relevant in how you perform. Life factors, whether you're tired, whether you're full, hungry kind of thing, right? Like there's all kinds of things that will ultimately affect that. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be made or broken solely on skill. If your brain's not showing up, or your mental is not consistently being able to keep its composure by how you respond to things that are happening, it's real easy to fall apart. Things could easily go back in Jake's favor here from Post University. We really have to buckle up and see. But he's going to be playing with the Braves here, which statistically speaking, not the most favorable of choices, I know. I mean, obviously it still makes it a case for itself, because it's a choice here in having to choose one of your many teams for the best of 5. But Zazzi gets to go back to the Padres, the team that he's played with the most in the ECAC season. So somebody he's very comfortable with.
Yeah, that is for this game, Zazzi, the last 2 weeks, the Padres have been very close for him. But hopefully in this game he'll be able to make his comeback with the Padres, and then going into the final game having his best team, the Phillies, which we've seen from the last time that Zazzi was on stream. Him and the Phillies are the perfect match together.
Absolutely. And to be able to go into, I would hope and assume, what would be the potential winning game with the Phillies, that will put Zazzi in the best position here, where it's the complete opposite for Jake from Post, unfortunately, where he used the Phillies right away. And he definitely got a mercy. He earned that, but now statistically he doesn't have that advantage anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That mercy rule can do a lot to a game, and having that in the very first game of a best-of-5 is very big.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just like how we spoke about the mental, right? Setting yourself up to build momentum and get off to a hot start with a team like that is fantastic. But then to then get mercied back, well, it puts you back to square one without your best team. And that's pretty rough, honestly.
Yeah, and we'll have to see this time how Zazzi is going to pitch with Padres. As we saw in the first game, he was getting closer to the end there, switching up a lot. But this game, maybe we'll see him kind of stick to more one or two pitchers.
It will ultimately depend, right? Because there's a factor that we don't mention much in the broadcast aspect is, like, these are based on real players, right? So just how we talk about mental in esports, mental in real-life baseball is huge. You could be the best pitcher in the world, you can still have an off game. So they have to factor that into the video game version of that somehow. So that's why you'll see sometimes, especially in Game 1, when Zazzi was behind with the Padres, he was doing things like mound visits. That will sort of settle down a pitcher who's not doing his best and hopefully bring up his accuracy a little bit more and his consistency. So getting off to a good start early is going to be important, I think. But at the end of the day, Zazzi knows this lineup inside and out, so if there's something that's not working for him, whether it's that Jake from Post is still cracking hits off like he has here with 2 quick ones and no outs so far, or if he's getting early and just not liking the pitches that are working for him, even if he's hitting the PCI correctly and how he's throwing the pitches with 100% accuracy or 82 like you just saw there, if it's still not going the way he likes, then he's not going to hesitate to switch up on the pitching front.
That's exactly right. We can see, though, that Jake from Post University, even though just losing from the mercy rule in that second game, he's starting off this third game very good. It seems like he bounced back very well for this as well, and it could be the fact that he is a competitor in this game.
He almost just hit one out of the park for a 2-run shot. Absolutely, there's a reason he's in the finals with Zaz right now. And Zazzi, that's a ground rule double. Don't see many of those. So for anyone who's not familiar with baseball rules, I know that you said, Wing, that you're not the most familiar with baseball itself. So when the ball lands in the field like that but bounces over the wall to go to the park, instead of giving you a home run because it's out of the park, they give you a double. It's called the ground rule double because it bounced out. You didn't hit it right out. So that holds him to second and moves the runner that was on first to third, freeing up first base, so there's no forced plays anywhere around the bases. It's got to be an out to first or catch the fly out. So Jake's actually in a really good position here. You made a good point. He is also bouncing back. He's not taking that forfeit loss, lying down. He's gonna answer in kind, it looks like, and put up a good fight all the way through, which we'd love to see. We want some good competition here for a grand finals match.
Yeah, we want a nice long stream for tonight.
I mean, hey, if Zazzi sends us home early, I'm not upset about that either.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too upset about that either. But hey, a nice long stream, who can complain about that?
Right, absolutely, and some good competition all the way through, right? That's what we're looking for.
No, that missed.
So Zazzi's pitching with Dylan Cease again, which I actually can't remember if that's who he started with in Game 1. As if that ball is not caught. Honestly, that's something quite rare you see in these games. So just like we saw in Game 1 where Zazzi hit a shot to the gap and the outfielder made a diving catch, or Tatis Jr. in the last game, or no, it wasn't Tatis Jr., sorry, but the right fielder in the last game made like a shoestring grab, something that would have been very difficult in real life. They have to factor in that these guys are human and they make mistakes. even on stuff that seems simple. So there is that like percentage roll of like of RNGesus really deciding whether or not they're gonna just be a computer or be a human in that moment. And unfortunately, that's one of those moments that kind of goes against Zazzi, where that should have been a guaranteed out, but the game thought otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. But good thing there that was the end of the hitting for posts in the first inning. Zazzi was able to stop the bleeding a little bit there.
No harm, no foul, ultimately.
Exactly. And we'll have to see how he's going to react for the rest of this first inning to go into the rest of this game.
Yeah. Jake had a good start himself, so we're hoping that Zazzi will answer in kind here. He's getting a little eager at the bats. He's already down 1, swinging at some stuff that he, maybe he's getting a little eager and feeling a little too confident. But just like in the last game, he was really, really making Jake pitch to him, and that was important, truthfully. He can't be giving up any free strikes or free outs here. Jake can just take advantage. Post University is not gonna take this lion down. He's hungry too.
We can see a lot throughout this game that Post University really loves to throw that ball to the bottom right there. And it does catch Zazzi off guard pretty often.
It does. But it just speaks to Zazzi's composure, right? Because he catches on eventually, and it stops working for him. And then, hopefully, a lot of the times, Post is throwing one in the zone that he can cough one up from, and Zazzi's just going to keep putting him out there, finding grass, putting him over the fence, chalking up runs, one little bit at a time.
I think what Post University is hoping to do here is really get the ball to just pop up in the air.
Yeah. Because a lot of the times they know, like we mentioned it early on, that it's a competitive home run derby, as we just saw Zazzi crank a no-doubter out to the right, over the right field fence. So you know the opponent's going to swing. It's just you're trying to make them swing at something they weren't quite expecting, and then have some bad contact.
That's the ball.
Pop one up, ground one out, whatever it might be. That's kind of how you do it in actual baseball too, just with a little more nuance, of course, with the human factor. But it's exactly what it is. You're trying to force him to hit poorly, and you as the batter are trying to make him pitch to you to give you cough up that easy one, or put something that you're comfortable with at swinging at, and then, if the baseball gods are good to you, you're going to end up on base or running around to a home run and stomping home plate, putting one up for the team.
Exactly.
Take your base, ball 4.
That was gross. That was a really good leave, honestly, because that was extremely close to being a strike. In fact, with the MLB's new challenge system, if this was real baseball, I would have challenged that. That was really close. Oh, don't do that. Thank goodness.
One thing I've seen more tonight while watching this game than I think through any other one of Zazzi's games in the ECAC is there has been a lot of walks.
There has been a lot of walks. You're very right. I called it before, something we don't see a lot of, but I think that, again, just speaks to Zazzi's composure. He's like, if you're not going to pitch to me, I'm not going to swing. He will happily. Oh, that's a ground rule double again.
Got the ball to hit the ground just at the right timing before it became a foul.
Just inside. This is a run batted into, maybe 2. No, he's not going to challenge that with 23 speed. Yeah, that's wild that I said that, like, it's something very rare to see in this game. And now we've seen it twice in one game. Pretty, like, back-to-back, both within the first inning. That's actually crazy.
Now we just need that grand slam to get all the rare things to happen in this.
Yeah, it very well could happen. There's a lot of baseball to play. Oh, come on now. Oh, errors. We love errors. We love errors. Let's go. Oh, that is so good. Thank you, baseball gods. You took one away from Zazzi and you gave him one back. Oh, that's going to drop in the gap. Maybe? No, he's going to catch that.
Yeah, he's going to catch that to end the first inning. But like you said, that error happened against Zazzi in the first half of that inning. And then in the second half of that inning, it was in his favor to get him to tie up the game 4-4.
I genuinely can't believe the things that we're seeing right now. Like, this is so wild.
I have to say, never thought I would be so excited to watch something like this. As being a person that competes in FPS games, going over to a sports game, I gotta say, this is extremely exciting, and this is gonna be great to watch for the rest of this game.
I agree. Like, just the fact that things like this are even happening is wild in and of itself. Like, this is, if you were going to a baseball game in real life, like, you would, that's the stuff you, like, you know, hands on the head about. You're like, oh, how do you drop that kind of thing? But to see it in the video game version, you're like, how did RNGesus show up for like 4 different plays here with ground rule doubles, unforced errors? All right, this should be a nice routine out. No more errors, please. Not right now. I would, in fact, be okay if there were no more errors for the rest of the game, truthfully, because those errors balanced out, and they can absolutely turn the tide of a game with just one play like that. Just how you mentioned before that one swing in the bat can change everything, one error can also change everything. And because it's not up to people, it's up to the game, like, that's just, it feels so bad when stuff like that happens. So if we can just leave this up to the players at this point, I would be happy.
Well, as we saw in that first inning, that error really played in favor for both Zazzi and Jake.
Yeah. Like, imagine if either of those was one-sided, right? If you were the player, like, how bad would you feel that, like, oh, I finally got something going, but then the freaking game just decided to take it away from me? Like, that's insane.
It's just like how Zazzi was saying last week when he was playing the Padres. The game was just not liking him.
Yeah, it does happen, right? No matter how good you are, no matter how much you crush a ball out of the field for a 2-run shot, yeah, you drink that Red Bull. You earned it. You take that right now. Oh, my goodness. I'm pumped up. I'm very happy right now that this is happening.
That has got to be one of the best hits we have seen tonight. That flew quick.
It really did. That was a really strong shot. I didn't see the exit velocity on that one. I didn't care to look because it was absolute a no-doubt shot. He's had some no-doubters before, but you're right. That one moved quick.
I think what we saw there was it did say on the bottom right that it did go 427.
Dang. Imagine if there was no wall to stop it or no person in the stands. Some poor schmuck just ate that ball unknowingly. Oh, that's gone. No doubter. Again. See, when the fielder stops running, that's when it's a no doubter, right? When it's just like, I'm not going to run because there's no chance of me getting that ball. Exit velo, I think, was 110 on that one.
Had to get an out eventually.
I mean, yeah, it can't be a perfect run, right? There's no way.
One thing I actually have seen was recently when on social media, I have seen someone do a 21 to like 4 mercy.
Dang.
He just, or was 21 hits in a single inning.
That's, either way, whichever stat, and both are impressive, truthfully. Well, that's going to drop.
That was just the perfect timing for the drop there.
Yeah.
Could have been a catch, but
it looked like it could have been. I don't know if it was on Jake's part or if it was on the game's part, but the outfielder hesitated there. Oh, yeah, just throw in the dive, because why not?
It could have been he just missed the timing on that run.
Perhaps.
To go for it, because when we do see Zazzi pitching, we'll see when the ball's out there, you'll see that kind of weird
that indicator, yeah.
Yeah, the indicator that'll be over the players, and if you don't hit it perfectly, your player will just slow down.
I think you might be right. It just stands out as odd to me because we've seen Jake. We've seen him reach further balls, so I have to assume it was a bit of a player error there, because otherwise I can't see why he would have not caught that ball, truthfully. But 2 on and 2 out here. Zazzi on a bit of a roll, truthfully, in the bottom of the second. He's fighting for his life in here, honestly.
I think he's looking for that perfect hit right now just to be able to secure a great lead, but he did fly the ball a bit there, and that will be the end of the second inning.
Still some great momentum in Zazzi's favor here.
This game 3 is getting very exciting.
It is exciting.
We're not really seeing the score for any mercy rules, so we might see a full game this time.
Could go the distance, absolutely.
Love to see a game go to distance in grand finals.
Zaz back on the mound here. Dylan C's doing well for him this time. A lot better than in game 1 so far. We did see Jake put up 4 immediately, and he's still chipping away, truthfully. But second inning was a lot different. Zazzy was able to really shut things down on the Braves' behalf there. Sorry, on the Padres' behalf, shut the Braves down. So we're hoping to see more of that here. It really just depends on where we're at in the order. Turn that double play. Let's go. Good heads-up play by Zaz there.
That was a quick 2 outs that Zazzy and the Padres did get there at the starting of the 3rd inning. You can tell he is really into it now.
Yeah.
No balls. 1 strike.
Taking the curve on this one. We'll let it drop. Yes, let's go. That knuckle curve is disgusting. He's not getting that.
Are we going to see a second base? No, holding off at the first base there.
No. If he did, that would have been an error on Jake's part, as big as when he tried to force that runner to go home in the last game where he got mercied. Or to go to second, sorry, when he got mercied. That's comically large error, truthfully. There's just no reason for that.
It looks like at the top right, we might see Jake try to steal a base here coming up soon. He is kind of pushing his player to kind of go for that steal.
Oh, that's gone. You're right. He was pushing him to take a big lead. He had 43 speed, so I don't think he would have taken it. But at the same time, too, you take a bigger lead because there's 2 out. So, like, it's one of those situations where if a ball pops up like that, they're going to run anyway. So you might as well just take the big lead.
Ball.
But Jake does put up a 2-run shot. Closes that gap. 7-6 now for the Padres.
Ball outside.
We got a game on our hands.
Yeah, this is going to be a long one.
I think so. I think so, too. Certainly not shutting this one down after 4. Good cutoff.
This 3rd inning, Jake looks like he has the potential to maybe catch up to even that score with Zazzy, but in the second half of the 3rd inning, we could see just a big gap happen.
Zazzy taking his first meeting mound there, just to settle down Cease a little bit, keep him in control. But no need to panic here. He's got 2 outs. Counts in favor of the pitcher here. Oh man, good patience from Jake though to really again make Zazzy pitch to him. Here he goes. Yeah. Oh, another error. Are you kidding me? I said game. I want no more errors. Oh, that's just rude. To be fair, that was a really strong shot at the feet. That's difficult to deal with in any situation, so I can understand why maybe the game was like, this is a tougher one. We're going to roll the probability dice, but that's just rude, truthfully.
That's a ball.
Those errors, they just keep wanting to pop up tonight.
Yeah, they really do. And we did see a change from Zazzy there from his defensive positioning. He had a bit of a shift on in depth to cover the infield balls, but because he got burned by that, he then brought the fielders back in a little bit so that nobody's getting shoe line shots and they can hopefully catch that next time.
Now we're going to get a chance to see Zazzy back on the plate for hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what will happen for the rest of this 3rd going into the 4th.
I mean, Zazzy's been looking really good on the bats, truthfully. I'm excited to see what else he can roll with here because he's gone through the order already. I don't think it's really even mattered who's come to the plate. He's been able to make something happen with everybody.
One thing I've noticed is the Padres seem more like a team better on the pitching side than the hitting side.
Statistically speaking, yes, I would agree with that. There's a lot more pitching depth. And on the batting side, like they have Manny Machado. He's a great solid hitter, always has been. A lot of the players are good solid hitters. You don't have any like major explosive threats, and I think that's perhaps the difference. It's more of like everybody being decent rather than like some really strong, like almost guaranteed on base hitters, and like some that are maybe a little more streaky and prone to just like flubbing their opportunities. Which in a way is also great, because then that just comes down to the player, right? In the MLB The Show realm, if you can hit, you got people who are good at making contact, then the game's not going to work against you, generally speaking. Even though, oh yeah, that's going to the fence at least. Yeah.
Almost got another one of those bounces.
See, you thought it was going to go out, didn't you?
Yeah. I thought that one was going to go out, or when I saw it bounce there, I thought that was going to
another ground rule double.
If we would have gone another one of those in this game, that would have been crazy.
I just realized we were yapping a little bit, but Zazzi tried to push that into a double and he got thrown out. So now Zazzi's back on the mound pitching. My co-caster Wing just hung his head in disappointment. He's like, "Oh no, you were so excited, and now it just got taken away from you." That's too funny. That's baseball, baby. That's how she goes. That's a no-doubter. Tatis Jr. is not moving.
That was a nice swing coming from Jake to tie the game up.
Yeah, evening things up at 7 here. I have to admit, Jake's putting on a good show, considering he's using the Braves and coming off of that really commanding display from Zazzi in the last game to mercy him after 4. There's no chance of a mercy here.
This is getting very interesting. Both players picking their second teams that they chose for the night.
Yeah.
Another great hit from Jake.
Off the wall. Manageable. Holds him at second. Look, it's not a home run. We always take that.
Something that happens very often in this game that you don't see as often in real baseball is those home runs.
It's true. I will say real life baseball's been changing a little bit, so you actually are seeing a bit more home runs. Recently, this season, actually, they've introduced a new type of bat. I don't want to drone on too much with specifics, but basically they made it so that more of the wood, so the traditionally made bat, it looks like what you're seeing on the screen. Like it's just kind of a standard thing that's been around for a long time. But that same amount of wood that they've made into the traditional bat that we know and have known for years, they've taken a little bit, thinned it out at the handle, and put that into the barrel so that it gives it a more natural pop. So you're seeing a lot more home runs. You're seeing a lot more strong contact because, for my opinion, even as someone who is a baseball lover, baseball's kind of boring to watch for the everyday person. So they're trying to bring in more viewership, make it a bit more exciting. That's why there's also there's a pitch clock now to keep things moving quicker. Because baseball, a game could take like 6 hours sometimes. That is legitimately a thing. Like it very well could go all day if they hit extra innings, like they just keep trading back and forth. Like you can be there for a while. A standard game, if I had gone to a game 5 years ago, you plan to be in that stadium for at least 4 hours.
Wow.
It's a long thing, and that's why like concessions do really well, because everyone's buying beer and food and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, like people want the people behind MLB want people to take an interest, so they're trying to make it more interesting. And even to that respect, before the new bats, you've got exciting players like your Shohei Ohtani. Like that's why the Dodgers are not picked by anybody, right? People are just getting better at this game, truthfully, and in turn making it more exciting.
Shohei Ohtani can make that kind of be that breaker, that make or break character. You can see that in other sports in real life. That back in the day, you had players like Ronaldo and Messi when it came to European football or soccer. And then in the NBA, there's players like LeBron, and there used to be Kobe out there as well. those are those type of athletes that just, when they're on a team, that's the team you're going to most likely see win.
Yeah, and that people are going to watch, too. They're going to tune in. They're going to buy tickets, right? And that's ultimately there's a business aspect. People love to see that. Is this one out? I think so. Nobody's moving. That's a no-doubter. That is a 2-run shot from our boy Zazzi. We did see Jake in the last inning. Forgive our yapping. We weren't commenting on it too much, but also we just don't care. We want to see Zazzi hitting the balls out of the park. But Jake did take a bit of a lead there with 1 run, and Zazzi immediately taking that back with a 2-run shot and no outs on the board here. So looking comfortable. Putting another one on base here and potentially setting up another multi-run shot. My co-caster here had a very strong facial reaction to that catch. That was a nice play. A line drive caught by the third baseman there. What looked like it was going to be a good shot from Zazzi, but taken away by the defense there.
You can tell how focused Zazzi is getting with that close point gap in the 4th. But we're going to see a second out there. This is a very close game. I'm really enjoying this one. Even though it's been a lot of chatting between us, it's been still a very good game to watch.
It has been. And it's interesting, too, because obviously this has been a best-of-5 setup, but the mercies that happened so quickly, this basically turned into a best-of-3 that started at 9 p.m. instead of a best-of-5 that started at 8 p.m. Like it just kind of moves back in a way to a regular season format. Another strong shot. I believe this is caught, though. Just didn't quite find the distance it needed.
It is only the end of the 4th. We still have, I think if I'm correct, they do go to 10, right?
It will be 9. 9 is regulation, yes.
Okay, so we still do have another 5 innings, including the one we're going into right now. We could really even see the runs go 20 to like 20.
Yeah, as long as they're trading, right? Because the mercy rule now has a possibility to be in effect. After 4, if anyone hits a 10-run lead, then that's what happened in the first 2 games. But I don't based on how things are going so far, the biggest gap we've seen is 4, and it's been immediately closed back, right? So I think both of these guys are really locked in at this point. They're not looking to go home early. They're going to take this as far as they can.
Even the game itself, as you'll see, sometimes you'll show the win percentage in the bottom right corner. The game is even predicting this is a very even game right now.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, we love to see that. Turn 2. Turn 2. He's out of there.
And that was a great double outs by Zazzi there.
Absolutely. And Whit Merrifield up to the plate, 0 for 2 so far, which is a good sign for us, truthfully, because then he's going to do something like this where he's going to pop a ball up. I think that goes foul, though. So, I mean, should, listen to me, baseball gods, should be, thank you, a routine out at this point, setting up for the bottom of 5 here. Barring any of those wild errors that we've been seeing so far that really shouldn't be happening. But I feel like I've poked the baseball gods one too many times, and they're starting to throw things back at us. So,
well, the first half of the 5th, we did see no runs from Jake from Post University. Going into the second half, we're already seeing 1 out. This inning could be the quickest inning we've seen in this game.
Could be. Zazzi's feeling comfortable. He's swinging kind of at anything. There's those two areas that are kind of a weak spot for him. It's the inside pitches, middle inside, high inside. He loves to swing at, and I think Jake knows it, as well as the low outside corner. That was something you commented on from the last game. If Zazzi is aware and composed and not giving those up for free, then he definitely will have a lead to take. He's got to make Jake pitch to him, and as long as he's doing that, even you commented about how we were seeing a lot of walks, and that's because. Oh, man, a great contact, but unfortunately that worked against him this time. But as long as he's making him pitch to him and not giving him sort of like wonky outs and swings for free, then a lot of this should go in Zazzi's favor. But credit to Jake. He's recomposed himself. He's keeping everything close, and He's caught on to Zazzi's games. He's switching up the mental.
1-1.
And making him aware and changing things in his eye line. And oh, you catch that. We like that. But these guys are just trading at this point. I really do love that this has become a defensive game. Like, every game I've seen so far for ECAC MLB The Show play, I said it at the beginning, it's a competitive home run derby. And at this point, it's become a defensive showdown. They're catching everything. They're turning double plays. They're really putting in the work on the mound. Oh, we turn this, Machado. One of the strongest arms in the game.
He's out.
Not even worried. I've seen that man throw a ball from, like, the opponent's dugout to first and still make the out. In real life, by the way. He's a superhuman. He's got, like, he's a genetic freak with his arm. So having him on third base is always reassuring.
I think this summer I'm really going to have to start getting into MLB. I might have to go out to Toronto and see a Blue Jays game, but as you all just saw there, that is the first half of the sixth done, going into the second half of the sixth right now. Still no points gained by either side in an inning and a half now.
Yep, it's a strong defensive showing. We love to see it. Now is going to be the point where the mental game comes into play. We're going to have to see who can persevere, who can outread their opponent a little bit. And honestly, Jake's looking like he's got Zazzi's number a little bit with the pitching. He's really picking those spots that make Zazzi uncomfortable. He knows it's the middle inside, low inside, well, actually anything inside. Zazzi gets a little bit hungry for. And that low outside corner is always something that he's kind of looking to throw at. But you put it in the middle, and Zazzi's going to do this to you. That's why he plays so much around the outside of the strike zone, because as soon as you put it in, there's always a threat when Zazzi's at the plate.
Exactly. Even in the competitive scene, Zazzi is known as a very strong hitter when it comes to MLB. There are some players that are just really good at pitching, but when with Zazzi, he's just one of those really strong hitters. I just saw kind of a friendly charity match between Zazzi, the winner of the 2023 Invitational for Rays Gaming, and then the winner of the 2024, so last year's winner. Saw a nice game between them, and the person he was up against was a really good pitcher.
Yeah?
Probably one of the best in the game.
That's honestly a matchup made in heaven, right? Best pitcher versus best hitter. Like, that's fun to watch. I don't care who you are.
It was a very fun game to watch. As they were streaming it live, it was really good, but the points, it only ended off as a 6-2.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's one thing with MLB The Show 25. What I've seen is it seems like it's a lot harder to hit a home run in that game.
I believe that.
1-0.
They have a new pitching speed that's now even on top of Legend, which is now called just GOAT.
Makes sense.
And it is a bit more of a challenge with that one, with that speed.
I mean, if the game demands for it, right? If people at the top level are like making it look like easy work, then yeah, make it tougher. Absolutely. Because that's what pro baseball has come down to, right? Is pitchers who can shut down a game, hitters who can crank one out. We already mentioned Shohei Ohtani, who literally did both for a whole season. One of the top pitchers and top hitters, which is unheard of in and of itself. But that's what it's about. It's exciting stuff. Why not be the best at your craft and show it off? I mean, Zazzi just hit an RBI double, increasing his lead to 2 here. Chipping away at that, and all with 2 outs. Everything starts at 2. That will always remain true.
No, that missed.
He's making Jake pitch to him a little more. He's not taking the stuff for free, the stuff that looks tempting, but that inside pitch every time.
We do see Zazzi does have one person on the base, so if he can hit a home run here, that will give him a nice, comfortable lead going into the 7th inning.
Oh.
And are we going to see it?
I do think so. Oh, ground rule double. That's a 3rd ground. That's actually wild.
We are seeing that happen a lot.
I'm very surprised.
And there was another great hit from Zazzi. Is that And that's
another 2-run shot.
Yeah. Now he has a nice 5-point lead right now. You can tell that he is feeling himself right now with how he has been in this one. And did we just see a safe there?
Another unforced error? What is happening?
We don't know if this is a mental game happening right now or if this is just how it is, but there's been a lot of errors happening in this third game.
Oh, my God.
Is that another
It's
home
undoubted.
run?
It's gone. Jake's crumbling.
No way. Did we just get...
Zazzi just waved to the camera.
Is that a...
Wait.
Are we...
Wait.
Is that a forfeit?
Okay, production's telling me we don't know what just happened. I want to say, okay, my benefit of the doubt statement here is that there were some connection errors or some connection issues, because that play with the throw from the shortstop to first, that should have been the ending throw. That was routine, but the player hesitated. He made a weird hesitation motion, like a fake throw. So I don't know if that was Jake picking the wrong base by accident and then correcting and not getting it there in time. Production is telling me that Jake rage quit. So I think that pretty confidently states that, I mean, his mental is crumbling. It's got to be, right?
We'll give it a few minutes here right now, and we'll have to see if we're going to get another game.
Yeah, we're being told that there is still another game to play. I think that that's just a forfeit for that particular game, which weird a little bit. I know these players are very much used to mercy rules ending games, but we weren't that close to it at that point. Like, yes, I think you were at 8 there, but you still had a defensive run to put some runs back on the board. There was still an opportunity to close that gap again and play it all out. But again, like, with just the amount of errors and errors for both sides, which is that it amazes me in itself too. Like, it's not as if all the things were going in Zazzi's favor to then put Jake behind. Like, both players equally were kind of getting the short end of the stick in certain moments, but it all balanced out. So why? I won't speculate. I can't speculate. He's not our player. We can't talk to him. But I don't know. I've never seen that before. That's so interesting to me.
One thing I have to say is, all respect to Jake from Post, but that game would have been his best chance to get that second. As now with that win, that takes the, if I'm correct, I don't know what's happened with when someone quits in the middle of a game like that, but if I'm correct and Zazzi can't play as the Padres anymore, he's going to go into this fourth game with his #1 pick team, and team that we have seen in the past on his channel, but also the Condors channel. Phillies is a team that it's rare to not see Zazzi get a mercy rule with them.
It's so we have to assume, right, if he rage quit, it takes as a forfeit win for Zazzi. A win's a win. So when you do win with a team, you can't use them at any further games. So that means the Padres is off the list for him. The Mets are off the list for him because he already won with both of those teams. So that's just the Phillies left. That's all we have left. And I mean, with the exception of the Phillies, because that's who Jake won with in Game 1, he can still use either of the 2 remaining teams. But Zazzi's about to enter his wheelhouse.
Exactly.
Right? This is his comfort zone. There's absolutely no chance that it's going to be an easy game for Jake. But while we figure everything out about what's coming next and hopefully set up for the next game, we're going to throw it to a quick break. So go to the washroom, grab a snack, grab a drink, whatever you need. But stick around. We'll be back with some more MLB The Show shortly.
Conestoga College is setting the stage for a new era in gaming. In 2025, we're opening a state-of-the-art esports venue, a premier facility for high-performing gamers in Canada.
In this 10,000 square foot facility, we're putting you in the center of the action. The facility will have 50 top-tier PC stations, 5 console stations, immersive VR stations, a team operations room, a full production suite, and a premier competition stage.
Esports is a rapidly evolving industry with global viewership of 532 million in 2022. This initiative goes beyond esports. It's also a platform for forging bonds, making memories, and creating connections.
Since 2020, Condors Esports continues to evolve, providing industry-leading facilities and experiences to the esports community.
Conestoga's esports venue expresses a sustainable and intentional future to compete, play, and work, all powered by gaming.
Break, everybody. We've had a bit of an unexpected scheduling change here. Zazzy's opponent has forfeited, so I am here with the Grand Finals winner, our boy Zazzy. Congratulations, buddy, on your big win today. Well done. I do want to ask you a few questions, if that's all right. You had told me beforehand, don't expect any forfeits, but you traded back and forth some forfeits there. What was going through your mind on those?
Yeah, I mean, it was some crazy games. You know, the start was probably not exactly the way I'd planned it to be. A little bit of a blowout, of course. But you know what? It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. We had a great finish. Was able to hit the ball really well. And, yeah, hopefully we can keep going with that and carry it into maybe next term as well. Absolutely.
And then Game 3, too, was quite the opposite, right? You guys were trading runs back and forth. We saw 3 unforced errors. We saw 3 ground rule doubles, something that you do run into in pro games, but I feel like you don't run into often in MLB The Show. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, defense matters. With the Padres, I do have some better defense. Unfortunately, I saw the one guy on the field I didn't want the ball hit to, of course, but we saw on his end as well with Marcelo Zuna out in the outfield as well, and whoever he had at shortstop. So, yeah, I mean, errors are part of the game. It's about how you take advantage. We're able to take advantage, score a bunch of runs that inning, and we're able to force the rage quit as well.
Absolutely. And my last question for you, obviously after running into a massive mercy in Game 1, can you run us through a little bit about what was going through your head and how you managed to bounce back with that so strongly?
Yeah, I mean, I've had LAN experience before, and being able to be in a different environment, it's all about being able to stay calm, get back to your approach. For me, it's all about just being able to stare there and be like, hey, look, there's a reason I'm here, there's a reason I'm going to stay here, and there's a reason I'm going to win this game. So for me, you know, one game is not a big deal. I used his best team. I had my best team waiting as well, so I was ready to just bounce back right back in.
Excellent. And we have for you a golden jersey here, something we do in-house. You have won your league, buddy. You're the grand champion, so we'll present you a golden jersey here. Congratulations again. You absolutely have earned it, and you'll get to wear this for the foreseeable future and let everybody know.
Everyone gets a gold jersey.
And
you win.
Yes.
Only when you win.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. So wear that proudly. You will be one of the few, truthfully. The Condors COD Academy team has some as well. They've shown up and won their leagues as well. EAFC as well. So congratulations, and keep up the good work. We're looking forward to more games with you.
One of many for the Condors, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, we love to hear that. Congrats again. And thank you very much to everyone who tuned in. We want to thank, of course, Nike. We want to thank CSI and Conestoga College themselves for helping us put on a great stream. To everyone in the production booth, everybody, all the staff here who made it all possible. Thank you guys, and we'll keep you posted with the schedule. Make sure you check us out on Twitter and Instagram as well for our scheduling updates for when you can tune in next.
Good luck today.
Thanks, man.
How I'm loving life these days. I see it falling into place. It's coming together, I don't even need to chase it. You see it written on my face. It's the right time, right place. How I'm loving life these days. It's the right time, right place. How I'm loving life these days.